So the session that I really wanted to hit home about today was, look, bottom line is it's about humans. You're going to market to humans, they're the ones that interface with either your technology or the interface you're actually dealing with. So we're dealing with humans at the end of the day. So what are we using and what are we doing to move humanity forward using technology? That was really the premise. And also, what are you going to do about your brand? There are many brands I showcased and how they actually interact with people. And so what are you going to do to create that contagion around your brand? And hopefully they had some takeaways from that. Wow, why do I come to App Store? That's a bloody great question, but ironic in its own state. 88% of what people do on the phone is app-driven. And when we think about the screen that you're facing, most of the time during the day is a phone anyway. I can't believe we call it a phone, by the way. We need to come up, I can't tell you the last time I took a call on that damn thing. It's a visual controller to my life, and on it is apps. So the vast majority of what people do is app-driven. The vast majority of stuff that people do on that thing is connection. So the reason I come here is I want to be able to find out what people are up to make those connections, potentially through apps. But I think apps is probably more dated. It's just about interfaces. The most exciting technology I'm seeing coming out of the market, not particularly this market, but the market generally, there's a couple of things. I think VR is interesting, but I also think it's a shiny object. I think we need to get back to the fundamentals of where else engagement happens, and that's across all devices. I'm just not convinced yet that the market's going to take off with people slipping this thing, over their face and then sitting back in a chair and having this sensational experience. Maybe, but it still feels very short today. It's a very short view in terms of the number of people doing it, and it still feels like the early days. And why? Because it's all about the content. So the technology itself is very professional. The content on it is probably quite amateur today. And I say that because if you think about the industry of television, when it was first launched, the first TV show was a radio show being filmed, and that was the migration from radio to television. So now we're going from these other screens to VR. I can't wait to see what happens around that. But here's a couple of things that I'm quite intrigued by. I'm intrigued by artificial intelligence, and especially if the story is this wide and narrow cast down to give you these permutations, it feels like I'm interacting with somebody that could be circumvented to be machine learning. I think that's great. And the other thing is augmented reality, the ability to have something that still feels like it's real, and I'm not completely immersed. And why do I like that? I like the fact that other people can actually share that experience. It feels more shared to me. So AI, AR, and VR are the places that I think are intriguing at the moment. Yeah, I think the challenge with a question about the app's future is all about apps. I think clearly the future of it is tied into the platform of which it is on. Now, if you think about it, ironically, the way that these apps interact today hasn't really changed since it came out. It all still feels kind of like it's app-driven and it's swipe-driven, and it looks like a Windows interface from '95. So it's going to mature dramatically based on what the operating system does on the device
we are with
itself.
Filibop basically
That's where I think the maturity is going
events,
to be. Obviously, vast amounts of maturity need to happen between apps to apps to apps to apps, all interconnecting,
some of them are
as
more,
opposed
some
to
of them are less
standalone and
important
switching between. Again, it feels like a very
good
early
opportunity
paradigm. But the
to
shift
attract
itself
new
will
leads,
happen.
new publishers,
But
new
I think as long as it's
advertisers to
immersive,
present our
and we move
platform
away from
anymore,
calling it apps, and we move away from
to be
calling
more
it a phone,
visible, to be more
who
present in
knows,
the
man?
market,
It
to
could
meet
be
new people and
gestural-based, it could
networking
be
and even
screen-based
existing
that are
customers.
jammed in front of our
So
faces,
it's
it
a
could
very
be
good
lens-based,
opportunity
but
for us
although the
in
verdict's
doing
still out on whether
business
people
and
want to walk
making
around
our
with
business
screens
grow.
jammed on their glasses today. I think it'll just be intriguing, but here's what I am excited about, and this is where I think the future of all this goes. If it connects to us, human to human more
Well,
so,
that's a tough
if I'm going to spend hours doing this, so you and I can spend more time connecting human to human,
for almost
I'm all
20
in on
years,
that,
the
man, and that's the
carrier-based
sort of stuff that I
payments,
think the
and
future's going to try and
even
circle back
performance
on.
marketing is still at an early stage. So there are a lot of technologies and